Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs and their twin flame connection. Fire signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Fire signs, I hope that you're doing well. This is for fire signs who are in a twin flame dynamic and are in separation from their twin. If you are coming to this reading and you're not sure about what a twin flame connection is, a twin flame dynamic, I have added a link to the description box below to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length video about the twin flame dynamic, which is so wonderful and much more comprehensive than I could do in this reading. But in a nutshell, twin flames share the same energetic soul. So it's two people, one energetic soul. Twins are not often or always reincarnated in the same lifetime, but when they are and they meet each other, it's a chemistry like no other. There is a passion and a fire and a knowingness that you found your person. But the intensity can become too much, and it spawns a runner-chaser dynamic where the chaser is usually the more spiritually inclined person, and they know that they've found their person. They know that they've found the one. But it becomes very codependent and fraught. The chaser becomes overwhelmed by all this unconditional love, doesn't know what to do with it, doesn't normally feel that love for themselves, and then they run. And then there's a separation period where the twins always have a psychic connection. The separation period is meant to isolate the twins out so that they can discover themselves, go through their dark night of the soul, and have a spiritual awakening. The twin flame connection is not necessarily to come back into union, although I always like to say that if that is your desire, then I pray for that for you. Not everybody wants to take the twin flame journey. Not everybody wants their twin back. Because there's a lot of hurt that can happen. But the purpose spiritually is so that the twins can ascend, discover their spiritual gifts, and raise the vibration of humanity. Quite literally. So I am a twin flame, and I do these readings to help twins understand and take a temperature of what's going on in their own connection. So, fire signs, I was only going to use two decks for these readings, but in the water sign reading, another deck wanted to appear, so I'm going to be using the wisdom of the oracle for the overall energy for both you and your twin. The What We've Forgotten oracle and the Artist Decoded Tarot. So, let's get one from the What We've Forgotten Oracle deck. I will tell you, I stuttered a lot during the water sign reading, and I feel it happening now. So this could be something that you are encountering. You may be having difficulty expressing yourself, or your twin. If you are, just because people are in separation from their twin doesn't mean that they're not in no contact. I am in no contact with my twin, but I know several twins that are in contact with their divine counterpart. So there could be something, blocked throat chakra, just an inability to speak clearly. Thank you, Spirit. For the fire signs, number 10, which corresponds to the Wheel of Fortune card, divine timing. The word is medicine. That's interesting. Medicine. Spirit is reminding me of something that I like to say sometimes to very dear friends whenever they, it's not about having to do something for me, but whenever a friend is kind to me or does something beautiful or says something that is helpful to me, I will always say to them, you are like a tonic to my soul, or that was like a tonic to my soul, to my being. And Spirit is drawing my attention to that phrase right now. Maybe sometimes it can feel like your twin is the only one who can allow the pain of the twin flame dynamic to subside. It's like you have a cut and you pour this tonic on it and it just makes the pain less. You have to be careful with that though, right? Medicine is a very tricky subject because if we take too much of it, we can become addicted. 2 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle, one for you, one for your divine counterpart. Interesting. Now, I got 2 cards for you guys, for you and your twin. Feel free to swap these energies. I wanted to say flip and it swap, and then it came out as fip, fop, I don't know. Not for you. Number 6 corresponds to the Lover's card, Gemini energy, the major arcana. The Lover's card, divine counterparts, and making a choice. Interesting as well. Got the number 10 here, which I said was the Wheel of Fortune, and you got a fortune cookie. The message, if you can see, it says nope. It's interesting too. It's almost like Spirit is serving it to you. You know, I never noticed that hand kind of holding it up like a tray, the chessboard. It's interesting. I see it less as saying your twin is not for you, because whether or not they're for you, they're your twin. It's not necessarily about that. It's about the game. It's like you saying, the game is not for me. I'm not playing the game anymore. That's what I hear somebody saying. I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm not trying to reframe things to make it all fit together so nicely. I'm not playing this game anymore. There's a fortune. There's a destiny waiting for me. Your person got number 36, which reduces to a 9, the Hermit card, Virgo energy. And it's come to the edge. See how she's spilling out? They look like they could be rose petals, but some of them are hearts. I think your person, your twin, come to the edge, is going through their dark night of the soul with the Hermit card referenced here. Really looking very closely at themselves. Lots of things coming to the surface. Right? Testing them. I feel like your twin is being really tested, which is not to say you're not being tested, fire signs. But you're not engaging. See how it's like the 2 sides of the chessboard, they're not engaged. There's no piece that's out. It's like I'm not even engaging. I'm not playing this game. It's almost like I don't see you not wanting to have civil conversation with your twin, but you're not going to do the game playing with your twin. my twin, I love my twin very much, but he played a lot of self-sabotage games. So he just self-sabotaged a lot. And I have been with partners since that have self-sabotaged a lot. So that's kind of my lesson here. Your twin sparks it, right? And then it's up to you to learn the lesson. So there could be something here that your twin triggers in you, right? Because they're meant to trigger it. And are you going to repeat the cycle, or are you going to stop it where it starts? And I feel like you're stopping it where it starts. But your twin is really, they're on this precipice, right? I feel like they're on a precipice of a breakthrough. They have to make that breakthrough about themselves first before they can make the breakthrough about you. That's for sure. So I'm going to pull 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. The first 2 cards will be your energy. The second will be your twins. The third will be the connection. The fourth will be advice from spirit. Like I said, feel free to flip the energies between you and your twin as twins mirror one another. Definitely talking to some strong Leo energy. With the strength card here, Leo, you showed up in your own reading. Three more. One more. Thank you, Spirit. All right. 8 cards out on the table. The first 2 cards are going to be your energy, but again, feel free to flip. 2 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Cups in reverse. 2 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Cups in the reverse. Lots of decision making, right? This came out for you with the number 6. Lovers is known as the choice card. We're at a choice point. 2 of Wands is like 2 roads diverged in a wood, 2 paths, and trying to decide which one is better. But what is the hang up whenever we have the choices? It's that, like, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, the idea that we'll have regret, oh, I should have gone with that one instead of that one, and now I regret my decision and I hate myself or something, right? But if you don't make a choice at all, you're completely stagnant. I often experience this. It sounds really silly, but I often experience this in the morning, which is why I like to try and pick my work outfits the night before. If I try to choose what I'm going to wear to work in the morning, I will literally stand there for 10 minutes. And I'm a pretty decisive person. But there's a lot going on in my head. Like, is this appropriate for work? Is this the look that I want to give today? Is this the color that I want to feel today? Are people going to like this outfit? And it's just kind of like, who cares? Like, of course, I'm not going to choose anything that's not appropriate for work, or rather inappropriate. Oh, that's a weird Freudian slip. I'm not going to choose anything that's inappropriate for work, but at the same time, I just have this hang up about, like, are people going to judge my outfit? And then I become very insecure about it, and then I end up standing in front of my closet for 10 minutes. And I usually always end up picking the outfit that I chose first. It's all about your instincts. What do you feel is right? But when we're in this energy here, we're literally standing at the fork in the road. Here again, 7 of Cups is just a different way to look at that. We have so many choices. We're standing before them, not knowing what to do. Because, see the serpent here? The serpent, the skull. What if I make the wrong choice? What if I do something wrong? You got these cards in reverse, though. just says you were pretty decisive here, saying, not for me. Not for me. Here you're saying, I'm not confused anymore. I'm feeling like the road that you're choosing is the one that leads you back to yourself. There's no confusion about it. Let's get a clarifier card for the fire signs. Well, damn. King of Cups. Beautiful. King of Cups is Scorpio energy. You could have Scorpio in your chart. King of Cups talks about emotional maturity. Look at how just poised, calm this character looks. Emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. Divine masculine, but could describe a woman. Doesn't have to be about gender. Being in control of our emotions. Not to the point where we squash them down, but to the point where we don't allow them to control us. It's a mastery, and it's beautiful, and it completely supports this resoluteness that I feel from you. You're very sure, and therefore you can be calm. And it's really good to be in a King of Cups energy, because what does our twin do? They trigger us. Trigger, trigger, trigger. They trigger our emotions. Somehow our twin just gets right to the very core, like no one else can. So maybe it's not to say your twin is not triggering you still, but it's more just about recognizing, pausing, saying, I see what you're doing here. You're playing a little game, and I understand why you're doing it. You're insecure, and yet you still need me. It's very strange. Such is the twin flame. But you're just sitting back, and you're doing your own thing. It feels really good, actually. It feels really calm. Very resolute. What does your person have? Well, they have kind of a mess. I'm not laughing at your twin, but I'm seeing very clearly how they could be in the hermit energy, because they're going through a lot, and I think they're trying to block you off from it. They don't want you to see that they feel weak. Seven of Wands. I almost said Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a little bit of thievery energy. A little bit of trickster. Seven of Wands can talk about blocking. Your twin blocking you or being closed off. Clarified by the Ten of Wands. Burden. Heavy, dense burden. They're almost, it's like this to me. It's like they're kind of putting up a wall so you can't see how much they're suffering. But you probably already know because you have a psychic connection, right? And maybe that's something that triggers you because you want to comfort your twin. I can relate to that. Especially if you're in a King of Cups energy, you're not what is the word? It's not that you lack compassion or empathy. In fact, you have an abundance of compassion and empathy. But you also know that sometimes people just have to walk that path on their own. They have to figure it out for themselves. And it's almost like I see a scenario for somebody where you knew your twin was going through some crap. You tried to approach them and they were like, no, 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 I'm not going to let you. I think they feel threatened by your judgment. I just felt that. It's like you see them in this position. It's just like, but how did you get here? like, how did we get to this point? And it's like they're not interested in your judgment. And quite frankly, I mean, sometimes, not just for a twin, for anybody, that's not always helpful. Like, how did you get here? Why are you a mess? Like, that's not helpful. It cuts deep when it's with your twin, right? As for a clarifier, the Hanged Man in reverse. This is a Pisces Virgo energy. The major arcana came in the reverse for them. In the upright, the Hanged Man talks about needing a perspective, a much needed perspective, like being too close to a situation. When the Hanged Man is in reverse, it's kind of like, in this context, with these cards, I feel as though your person is trying to figure out how to get the distance from the burden, but they are having trouble. This could involve family members, finances, that they can't, you can't just abandon ship. I mean, you could, but then you face consequences. For the connection, two major arcanas. The number 8, the Strength card, Leo energy. And the number 5, the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. This is the Hierophant in the upright. The Pope of the Tarot. Leo, you showed up in your own reading. The Strength card in the upright is beautiful because it talks about really coming face to face with our ego. That is what is being called for right now in the connection. Can we look ourselves in the mirror and really understand the person looking back at us? That some of that can be an illusion, distorted. And then can we go within and find the self? The ego is what keeps us in a space of fear sometimes. An overactive ego can keep us in a space of fear. Right, like if you're applying to, or you want to apply to a new job that you might not be 100% qualified for, there's one part of the ego that says, no, don't do that. You'll never get that job. What are you thinking? Like, we don't want to be rejected, so don't even bother. And then there's the other part of the ego, a healthy ego that says, you know what? While that may be true, while I may get rejected, it might sting for a moment, but I'm going to be okay. And I know that I'm going to, at least if I apply to that job, I won't have any regret. I won't always wonder. That's a practical way of looking at the ego. Is it going to impede progress? Impede? This could be with, dating, right? You have a twin flame in separation, but you don't want to wait for your twin forever if you're trying to get back out there. And you're trying to be on a dating app or whatever, and this part of you is like, oh, no, I don't want to be rejected, and this is weird. And there's the other part of you that's like, hey, if I don't put myself out there, I could go my entire life waiting for my twin, and then what? Right? But the Hierophant, clarifying it in the reverse, it's kind of like saying, we're just gonna throw the rules out the window. That we can still connect with spirit, but we're going to do it in a way that is unconventional, non-traditional. And I think both of you are kind of encountering that right now, where you're kind of having to, step a little bit outside of comfort zones. Can I get a clarifier for that? Six of Wands, victory. Look at that, jumping over the hurdle. Yeah. See? It's like Spirit saying that, like, look, there might be a hurdle there, but just take the leap. Try to jump it. Try to surmount it. It will only serve you. to put yourself out there, because it's not even about the end result. It's the putting oneself out there that is itself the victory. What is Spirit's advice? Page of Cups in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse. You might want to reach out to your twin. You might want to reminisce on the old times, the happier times. But Spirit is saying, try not to. You have free will, you can do what you want, but try not to look at the past. You can't change it, it's already back there. We can try to heal the feelings from the past, but we can't actually change the past. We can heal it though. We can learn from it. But they're really kind of, I feel this discouragement from reaching out to your twin. Page of Cups is a gesture of reaching out to somebody, apologizing maybe. But both these cards are in reverse. They're just saying focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. King of Swords. Be very, very, this is a Gemini energy. Be very discerning about your communications. King of Swords is a great communicator. Supposedly. They're an expert, they're an authority. We bookend your reading. We started with the King of Cups, we end with the King of Swords. Head and heart joining together in this beautiful balance. That's what's called for right now. That's your reading, fire signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.